So we in Luke, the first chapter, showing you what's saved. Like people say, I'm saved. Okay, this is really what saved is. We're going to look at Luke 1 and 68 through 71. You can write that down. This is really being saved. Equal Luke 1, 68 to 71. Look what it says. Blessed be the Most High power of Israel. So, Most High the power of the Israelites. Not no one else, but the Israelites. He said in Exodus 3 and 15, I am to tell Israel, I'm the power of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. This is my name forever, a memorial to all generations. Read it for yourself. It says, blessed be the Most High power of Israel, for he hath visited and redeemed his people and has raised up an horn, which is the power, like the bull's horn, the ram's horn. That's the power of the bull. That's the power of the ram. Of salvation for us, the children of Israel, in the house of his servant David. Talking about Mashiach Yahushua, who came out of the tribe of Judah. Hebrews 7:14 says, for it is evident, it's a fact that our power, Mashiach Yahushua, sprang out of Judah. Our forefather Jacob, whose name was changed to Israel's fourth-born son. As he spake by the mouth of his holy prophets. That's the Old Testament, y'all. Because that's all they had to go by, was the law and the prophets. When the Mashiach walked the earth. You know, Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. All they had was the law and the prophets. When you read the book of Acts, the first chapter, he ascended to the right hand side of the Most High in Acts 1 and 9. After that, he's not on this earth anymore. But when he was on the earth, all he had was the law and the prophets. Prove me wrong. Prove that when he was on this earth, he read from Revelations. Why I can't get no comments? Y'all done said all these things. Y'all done said this, that, and the third, whatever. Y'all don't go to the Old Testament. There is no New Testament. There's only the law and the prophets. And when you understand that, it'll bring you more understanding of what he had to go by when he was on this earth and what he went by. So what we going to do? That's what he's saying. And that's raised up in horn, that's a power of salvation for us, the children of Israel, 12 tribes of Israel, in the house, the family of his servant David, who came out of the tribe of Judah, and the Mashiach came on the earth out of the tribe of Judah, from David's loins, David's sperm, David's copulation, David's lineage of being of the tribe of Judah. Come on. As he spake by the mouth of his holy prophets, which have been since the world began. Listen, that we, who are the 12 tribes of Israel, should be saved. There go your saved right there. From what? From our enemies and from the hand of all that hate us. That's being saved. We got to be saved from our enemies and from the hand of all that hate us. Because they hate us. Not anybody. Because some of you rolling right with the way they would have you roll. With them to hell. Whoever it is. The children of the devil. It don't matter what nation you are. If you don't want to follow what the Most High says, you are the children of the devil. Straight up. He got you. He got you. That's why he said, verse 2 of Ecclesiastes, the second chapter in the Apocrypha, set thy heart, set your mind right. Get your mind together. And constantly endure. Hear that? You got to constantly endure. And make not haste in time of trouble. See? Don't run in time of trouble. Let me ask you something. Answer this question. Where you going to run from the sky? Most I made the ozone layer. You know what I mean? The sky. Where you going to run? Wherever you run, when you come up out of the ground, I don't care if you go 50 miles under the ground. When you look up, when you come up on the surface, you're going to see the sky there. And the sky's still going to be there. What the Most High said, hey, his eyes are 10,000 times brighter than the sun, beholding all the ways of men and even the secret parts. So no matter where you are, remember, I think our people don't really have enough sense to realize whatever you see, the Most High made it. No matter what you see, the Most High made it. He the one made it. Whatever it is, you looking at tangible. He looking at it as invisible. Right, see right through it. 10,000 times brighter than the sun. Come on, y'all ain't understanding. That's what I say. People don't know the Most High. Y'all say God, but you don't even know what we talk about. Not in this Bible, not for what he said. Come on now. 2 Timothy 2:15. Better recognize, man. This is serious as serious can be. He giving us instructions. It's just a matter of you gonna listen or you gonna do your own thing. You done created your own power in your own mind. Just what it says. It says study, first and foremost. 2 Timothy 2:15. Study to show thyself, that's yourself. Don't get twisted, because a lot of y'all saying, I can't read the Bible, too many thys and these in it. Man, you can't be that ignorant. Come on, man, come on. This ain't hard. You see, thy, I mean your, or you. Thyself means yourself, okay? Come on now. He says, study to show yourself approved unto the Most High. Hear that? You got to study to be approved unto the Most High. Like people look at, okay, well, I'm doing a little bit here, a little bit there. That's all what you expect the Most High to give you? You gave him a little, he going to give you a little. Or maybe nothing. You don't know what kind of mood he going to be in. That's why he says, study to show thyself, yourself approved unto the Most High, a workman. That means you working, man. That needeth not to be ashamed. Doing what? Rightly dividing the word of truth. Rightly dividing the word of truth. Rightly dividing the word of truth. We know the truth is what, class? Psalms 119, 142. That righteousness is an everlasting righteousness, and thy law is the truth. That thy is yours. That's the Most High's law. Is the truth. The laws of the Most High is the truth. So you rightly dividing the laws of the Most High, you rightly dividing the word of the Most High. Because it tell you in St. John 17:17, sanctify them, meaning to clean us up through thy truth. Sanctify, clean us up by the laws of the Most High. Thy word is truth. Like right now, we not in the law. We ain't went to the law but one time in this lesson. But we still getting understanding through the word of the Most High. Understand this. That's why he says, study to show thyself, yourself approved unto the Most High, a workman that needeth not to be ashamed, rightly dividing the word of truth. That's why I keep saying, you know, the word of the Most High have to be broken down, precept upon precept, precept upon precept, line upon line, here a little and there a little. You see? But if you don't really operate and look at how it has to be done, he told you in Isaiah 28:9. This is basics, but it's not basics for those that really don't know this. That's why I have to go over it so that you will understand why I'm going from scripture to scripture to scripture to scripture. It say Isaiah 28:9. Whom shall he teach knowledge? Who's going to learn this knowledge? Who the Most High going to teach knowledge? And whom shall he make to understand doctrine? All these different ways of life that are right here in these scriptures, topic after topic after topic after topic. Them that are weaned from the milk. You see? Them that are weaned from the milk. Like a baby. When you move the baby from the mother's breast, they're ready to eat meat. They're ready to get down at the table. Whatever you eat, they're ready to eat the same thing. And drawn from the breast, you see? They drawn from the mother's breast because they're not a baby anymore. But you can't be a baby for year in and year out and year. I'm just beginning, I'm just still learning because you ain't really doing what you're supposed to do. Just show yourself approved unto the Most High, studying as he just said. For precept must be upon precept. You can't read the Bible from Genesis all the way to Revelation 22, the last verse. and think you're going to understand this Bible. It's saying precept must be upon precept. Meaning you go to this verse, then you look, then you go, you see what it says in that verse, then you go to another verse. Get more understanding for what that verse said. Then you go to another verse. Then you go to another verse. You get more understanding what that verse says. But it's the same topic, same doctrine, same topic that you're dealing with and bringing forth these subject matters. Precept upon precept. Precept upon precept. Line upon line. Line upon line. You might just need a line. One sentence in a whole verse. Like when I'll give you a prime example. You're gonna see when I go to a certain verse, I'm just going to the last sentence. That's all I need for this verse. From what the topic is entailed with. You see? Like I'll give you a prime example, like when we go to Jeremiah 14:2, Judah mourneth and the gates thereof language, they are blackened to the ground. We hardly ever read, and the cry of Jerusalem has gone up. We hardly read that. We just needed that part right there. You see? Or Judah mourneth. You know, when the ghettos and slums, last high, the first five, same thing. You know, always marching, we shall overcome. No justice, no peace, we mourn it. You see? I don't need to go to the gates thereof language. I just need that part right there. Judah mourning. That's it. And if I'm going to do it to leadership, I'll say the gates thereof language. The leaders met at the gate to judge Israel. You see? So that's why I say precept upon precept, precept upon precept, line upon line, line upon line. Just say here a little and there a little. You see? Like if I go here, I'll show you like wow, that's the spirit of all praise the Most High about Shama Mashaki. Wow. When you turn the Bible, it go right to what you have in mind. Wow. And it's not because I go there a lot. I won't even accept that. I give all praise to the Most High about Shama Mashaki. When you roll into the spirit and you ask for the spirit and then you see certain things happen like that, man, wow. Like this little. All I need in Revelation 18 and 23. I just need the last sentence that's being said in that scripture that I just turned this Bible into it right there. Because I could have went to Revelation 13, 12, or 22, any of the chapters, right? But it went right there. All praise the Most High about some of my Y'all got to understand, man. I just need the last sentence. It says in Revelation 18, 23, just that little. Here a little and there a little, just that little. For by thy sorceries, witchcrafts, were all nations deceived. You see? By the witchcrafts of this system that they have in this world now, all nations are deceived. They believe in the lies that they bring it forth. A lot of you believe whatever they say, that's your power. Whatever they say, it's got to be true because they said it. And that's sad. And the Most High said, hey, he told us this. He said, look, Deuteronomy 28 and 1. He told us in the wilderness. He told us a few times, though, the same thing over and over again. Most High speak once, say twice, man perceive it not. We want to, like I say, then, now, and hopefully, you know, it'll be a change in looking at what the Most High would have us to do to follow his laws that can change things. It says, Deuteronomy 28 and 1, and it shall come to pass, if thou shalt hearken, listen diligently unto the voice of the Most High, thy power, your power, Israel, to observe and to do all his commandments, which I command thee this day, that the Most High, thy power, will set thee on high, above all nations of the earth. You hear that? That's a very racist statement. Wouldn't you say? You say, all we got to do is observe to do all his commandments. So all you saying that we ain't under the law? We ain't under the laws and commandments. That's why you have our people in a rut and can't come out. They looking up at their heels because they're not doing what the Most High tell us to do. Look, until this day it says, and it shall come to pass, Salakia, if, this is a condition, thou shalt hearken, listen diligently unto the voice of the Most High, thy power. From the voice come words. To observe, look at these laws, and do all his commandments. See, do the commandments. which I command thee this day, that the Most High thy power, the Most High your power, Yasharallah, will set thee on high. How high? Above all nations of the earth. And all these blessings shall come on thee and overtake thee, if, that's a condition, thou shalt hearken unto the voice of the Most High thy power. There it is. But Daniel's 9:11. He told us, hey, all them blessings only thing we're gonna see from them blessings right now is those that's gonna come back to the commandments of the Most High. You're gonna be blessed. You know, Mashal Shai said, hey, you're gonna receive 100-fold in this world, in everlasting life in the world to come. Daniel's 9:11. Yeah. All Israel has transgressed thy law. See? All Israel have transgressed thy law. But all means a certain number. Have transgressed thy law, even by departing. See that? Even by departing. Because we all got the law. We all 12 tribes were in the wilderness. So it's no excuse for anyone. That's why when the judgment comes, it's going to be like, okay, well, you're going to go down. You're going down. And you can't say, well, I didn't know. You don't know because the Most High didn't call you to know. But if you've been called, much is given, much is required. And he said, you that know, and you don't want to do what's right, some of you been involved in this truth, and you went another way, he said he's going to beat you with more stripes than those that never was called. You got to understand, the Most High called you into learning this. And when you turn your back on him, whew, that's why he say, look, 2 Ezra 9:22. He said, let the multitude, that's the multitude of people, perish then, which was born in vain. That's why, you know, you can only pray to the Most High and hope for people so long. Because the Most High said, hey, let the multitude, that's the multitude of people perish then, which was born in vain. Don't let it be you. And I hope it ain't me. That's why I'm trying to steady fear the Most High, repent, keep his commandments, and cry unto the Most High. For myself and my nation. He said, hey, let the multitude perish then. He said the multitude of people perish then, which was born in vain. So all you that are deceived by your own vain opinion, and an evil suspicion has overthrown your judgment, as we read in Ecclesiastes 3:24, you could be part of this. Why he said, let the multitude perish then, which was born in vain. Just for that number. Is that something? Is that your God? Is that your power? Is that your Most High? Since y'all say he's all love, he said, let the multitude of people perish then, which was born in vain. Listen what he said. He said, and let my grape be kept, and my plant, for with great labor have I, that's the Most High, made it perfect. You see? So he's working to make some of us perfect. I hope you're not one of the multitude that he said, let perish then. That's why I said, going back to Daniel's 9:11, he said, yeah, all, which is a certain number, Israel have transgressed thy law, even by the party, that they might not obey thy voice. You just said, hearken to his voice, right? We just heard that. This is precepts. Did we do it? No. So 2/3 of our people, this is what it's talking about. That all is 2/3 of our people. Yeah, all Israel have transgressed thy law. That certain number is the 2/3 of our nation, the 12 tribes of Israel, even by departing from the Most High's laws, that they might not obey thy voice. Therefore the curse that you read from Deuteronomy 28, 15 to 68 is poured upon us. And all that the prophets told us, that's going to happen to us. Because all the prophets went to Israel, to us. In captivity, well, we was out of captivity, still coming to us as the Israelites. Therefore, the curse is poured upon us, and the oath that is written in the law of Moses, you see that? Like I told you, from Deuteronomy 15 to 68, Deuteronomy 28, 15 to 68, them curses, the oath that is written in the law of Moses, the servant of the Most High, because we have sinned against him. It's just very key right here, because when you understand, I went through this about how the prophets included themselves. That's why I say we, me first. I say you, I'm talking about me first. But I done went through all these scriptures, and looking at it, and that's why you can see, you can go online, you can find self-examination. You got to do a self-examination, and you got to keep going over self-examination, examining ourselves to see if we in the faith, see if we believe in the Most High, see if we do what we're supposed to do to please him, instead of making them cry, making them feel sad. You ever thought about this gonna make the Most High happy? People don't even think about that. Most people only have in their mind just pray to the Most High to give them whatever they want, whatever they desire, they lust. That's what the Most High called desire, is lust. Don't even consider it's raining, he crying. You ever thought about that? Because he said the heavens can't contain him. He said the earth is my footstool. That's your heel on the footstool. That's your heel. Look down at your heel. That's what he says. The earth is his footstool. He said the heavens can't contain him. He said his throne that he said is inestimable. It cannot be measured. Like they can't go down but so far in the ocean. They can't go but so far in the sky. They can't get past the ozone, really. They ain't going into the sky or the ozone layer, beyond the ozone layer, that the firmament that the Most High made above the earth. Come on now. He got everything encircled around there. Where he's at, there ain't nobody go. He said the heavens can't contain him. How big is he? He said his throne, a throne is what you sit on. Like this, my throne right here is inestimable. It cannot be measured. And y'all know the Most High. Better think again. But you see, he said, because we have sinned against him. That's very important to see. That's what the Spirit showed me. The prophets all said that. We have sinned against him. And my shall say, good master. He said, don't call me good. Ain't nobody good but the Most High. Even if he was good. He said, hey, I ain't good. What y'all say, how you doing? I'm good. He said, hey, don't call me good. Ain't nobody good but the Most High. But here we are. That's something new too. Especially your old bugs. Y'all know good and well you wasn't saying how you doing, I'm good. In the 60s, in the 70s, in the 80s, come on, y'all wasn't saying I'm good. That's something new. And it's amazing because he said only the Most High is good. And the things that are contrary to the way the Most High would have you to be, you're naturally like that. What'd he say? Daniel 9:11. Yeah, all Israel has transgressed thy law. See, even by departing, that they might not obey thy voice. Therefore the curse is poured upon us, and the oath that is written in the law of Moses, the servant of the Most High. We already defined the servants as who? The children of Israel, the 12 tribes of Israel, because we have sinned against him. And he, who is the Most High, have confirmed his words. He confirmed his words unto this day, which he spake against us and against our judges that judged us by bringing upon us a great evil. You hear that? Now, the great evil don't come if you're doing what's right. If you're doing what's right. The great evil don't come, but the Most High deal with us as a nation, individually and as a nation. So we all went through this great evil. Even though Daniel was righteous, he still had to deal with this great evil. because we drew evil to us by not doing what the Most High says we're supposed to do and following his rules and regulations, his laws, statutes, commandments. He is not evil. He created evil so that we ate of the knowledge, the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. He said, don't eat of that. You don't need that. All you need is me, the Most High, and the tree of life. My son, ain't no different than it is now. Ain't nothing new under the sun, y'all. That tree of life is a Mashiach Yahushua, the spirit of the Most High, the angel of the Most High. That the Most High said, hey, all you need is me and my son. Like it is now. Ain't nothing new under the sun. Same thing. He was a tree of life. That's why he said in St. John 14:6, I'm the way, the truth, and the life, right? He said, I'm the life. He said that. I'm the way to show you how to follow the truth, which is the law, such commandments of the Most High, Psalms 119, 142. That's going to lead to everlasting life. He said that. But see, y'all don't really look at it because you're not analytical thinkers and you just like trying to like regurgitate certain things that you hear as the truth. Regurgitate that. Turn your neighbor and say that. He said, I'm the way to show you how to follow the laws of the Most High. I'm the way to show you how the commandments of the Most High, because that's what he did. That's going to lead to everlasting life. Come on. Oh, prove me wrong. Making me something different. Because y'all want to use him as the truth and cancel out the Most High's work that he done, the laws. Did he cancel it out? Did he sin? Did the Mashiach sin? Did he break the Most High's rules and regulations? No, he didn't. He came to give us an example of how we can follow the laws of the Most High, because he did. Come on. That's why he said, hey, and he have confirmed his words, which he spake against us, Daniel 9 and 12, which he spake against us. The us is the 12 tribes of Israel, because we all got these laws and commandments in the wilderness, and against our judges. And sometimes he repeated himself for the commandments. So we ain't want to hear him. He know he speak once, yea, twice, man perceive it not. And against our judges that judged us by bringing upon us a great evil, not an evil, but a great evil. For under the whole heaven, from that ozone layer, that firmament, all the way down to the earth, he said, has not been done as has been done upon Jerusalem, upon we, the children of Israel. As it is written in the law of Moses, all this evil is come upon us. Yet may we not our prayer before the Most High our power, that we might turn from our iniquities and understand thy truth and understand thy law. Psalms 119, 142. Let's sing it together, class. Thy righteousness is an everlasting righteousness, and thy law is the truth. Come on. So, until this day. That's why Mashiach said, because iniquity shall abound, shall be so plentiful in the earth, the love of many shall wax cold. Why you so cold-blooded? Verse 14, therefore hath the Most High watched upon the evil. Hear that? The Most High power of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob being the forefather of the 12 tribes of Israel, which you should know by heart. You've been in this truth, you should know all 12 tribes by heart. Bam. Therefore hath the Most High watched upon the evil and brought it upon us. But the Most High, our power is righteous. Hear that? The Most High, our power is righteous. Just like I said to you earlier, the Most High, our power is righteous in all his works which he doeth. For we, including Daniel, this is what's marvelous in the eyes of the Most High. For we obeyed not his voice. Come on. We didn't obey his voice. We refused to follow what it is he told us to do. He told us it was going to happen. And he's not a man he should lie. Ecclesiastes 2 and verse 3. It say, cleave unto him. Cleave unto the Most High, and depart not away. Where you going? Like I say, where you going to go? That's why I say depart not away. So many people, I've seen some people come and go so many times in being in this truth through having TV shows for over 12, 13, 14 years, radio shows, people coming to class, people being involved with you. That's why I said a revolving door. Who really gonna maintain? Who gonna do it to the end, as he said? Really being in the truth. You can say you're Israelite all you want to, but if you ain't really in this, in our nation, building in our nation, having some works of him, he gonna open up the books. It's gonna be, what did you do? Oh, I did this, I did that. This ain't no religion. This ain't no individual thing. This is about what have you done for somebody else. That's why it said, you gotta cleave to the Most High, by Hashem Mashiach Yahushai, and depart not away, that thou mayest be increased at thy last end. So if you part away, you're gonna be decreased, to be thrown in the lake of fire. But see, some of y'all don't think that, because you think, oh, y'all just playing this for a fad, man. This ain't no fad, man. This ain't nothing you better play with. You've been hoodwinked, bamboozled, like Malcolm said, ran amok, Shanghai. You've been brought into something you'll never be the same. I don't care. I don't give a damn who it is. Name them. All you that's been around me, or that I know, that you ain't dealing with this truth no more. Bring it. Tell me the Most High ain't visit you. He long suffering, but he have visited you, and you know it. If you know, you can be in denial all you want to, because you don't fear the Most High. Hey, you might be a great example for somebody. You let them know. I remember I met the brother that told me about all. He had an ancient dictionary. He said, all is a certain number. Look it up. Which is true, and we know that all is a certain number. And we know that as Israelites that certain number is the 1/3, right? I seen him, I said, hey man, I was glad to see the brother. You know, I don't want to throw his name out there, but I was glad to see the brother. And I said, how you doing, man? He said, I'm still trying to find my way. And he had an ankh on. And it hurt me. Because I remember that brother, he cried when he seen the power in Bahasham Mashiach Yahushai. Mashiach Yahushai. He's saying that. Powerful brother. I seen him, he said, I'm still trying to find my way. And he was looking dazed, like, and he had an ankh on. I was like, oh man, that hurt. When you really love your people and you see that happen, you see it happening here and there and here, everybody being dealt with. Y'all better understand, man. And we in the last days, I'm tell you what, Mosai said, with the judgment, ain't gonna be no mercy. See, we in a mercy and grace now. We as the Israelites. But he said in the judgment, ain't no mercy in the judgment. That's why he said, hey, Ecclesiastes 2 and 3, cleave unto him and depart not away, that thou mayest be increased at thy last end. Hear that? If you still cleaving to him. You know? And this ain't something that you being jumped around here, jumped over here, jump over there, jump over there. That brings confusion. Well, a lot of y'all ain't got no answers. Ask a question that you done heard over and over again, you can't even answer. Some of you been in the truth for years and years and years and years and years and years. Ask you a question that you should know, you done heard it over and over and over. Oh, I heard that already. But then ask you the question about it, you can't even answer. Why? Because you ain't doing the right thing. This ain't no religion, y'all. I'm telling you. Things getting ready to heat up. Everything is against us. Everything is against us. But if you don't think so, you're going to find out. That's why I'm telling you better. I'm just giving you the preparation. That's why he said, look, cleave unto him and depart not away. You got to know how to cleave to him. You got to know how to not depart away. Because some of you, look, let's look at that right there. Depart not away, right? Hold that. We'll come back there. I want you to look at Ecclesiastes, the 10th chapter, and verse 12. You think about this. Meditate on this. That's why I say you get understanding to the precepts. The beginning of pride. The beginning of pride is when one departed from the Most High. He said, depart not away. So your pride, people's pride in not being humble will have them depart away from the Most High. In his heart, that heart is the mind, is turned away from his maker. See that? So you ain't cleaving to the Most High. The Most High brought you to a calling, and then you go some other place, and then you say, wow, you've been pretty much, that's why I challenge everybody. Okay, well, making me something different. And I'm not boasting. I just want you to get this. This is love. And if you're making me something different, I'm going to change and say, hey, look, I was wrong. This is the right way. What you said was right. You prove it right, I'm going to change. I don't have no problem with that. This is about, hey, being born again. And as a messenger of the Most High, the hand of the Most High, I'm telling you that you need to hear this and change. And if you can make me change by me being wrong, then hey, I'm going to change. I have no problem. I'm humble. That ain't what it means. It means this. That's why I say making me something different. I'm not boasting to say what I'm saying is so perfect or whatever, because I ain't perfect. But I know that what I'm saying is I ask for the Spirit of the Most High, and I know I'm turning these pages. He talking one way or another, whether you hear him or not. Because I'm dealing with scripture breakdown, point blank. That's it. What this word is saying. And as I'm moving in the scriptures, hey, and I know that, hey, he heals. This word heals too. It heals. And he talks to us. You see, but if you don't want to accept it, hey, that's on you. I got to accept every word of the Most High as being pure. Except for what they tamper with it. I show you that they tamper with certain things, but ain't that much. It's enough that, like I said, we going to be saved from our enemies and from the hand of all that hate us. That's salvation, power, and authority on this earth. That's coming to the Israelites. How long? Forever and ever and ever. We got next. How long? Forever and ever and ever. That's why he said, who got next? We got next. What we going to do? Take the kingdom. When? Now. How? But how Shama Mashiach Yahushua. When the Spirit came to me to give all those sayings like that, man, come on, man. That's the Most High. He get all the glory for that. I didn't think of that. It just popped up. Boom. It was in Atlanta. We got next. And that's when? Now. How? But how Shama Mashiach Yahushua. Everybody was quiet. Nobody knew what to say because they never heard nothing but who got next? We got next. What we gonna do? Take the kingdom. They never heard. When? Everybody was quiet like it is now. Now. How? Everything was quiet. That's how we go to spiritual power from the Most High to take the kingdom. He gonna fulfill what he just said. For us to be saved from our enemies and from the hand of all that hate us. That's why I say it's a fearful thing to fall into the hands of living power. Straight up. See, y'all looking at man, but you gotta have to fight the Most High. And the spirits, or the angels that he have on this earth, waiting for the commandment of the Most High. Believe this. All praise to the Most High. That's why, look, pride. Now that's why people are dealing with what they dealing with, and they pride gonna send them straight to the hell fire. Straight up. This is what it say. So who you dealing with? When you got pride. Ecclesiastes 10 and 12. The beginning of pride is when one departed from the Most High. See? You depart from the Most High, and his heart, which is his mind, the way he think, is turned away from his maker. Turn away from his maker. For pride is the beginning of sin. You hear that? When you think you are that, and you gotta be uplifted, you gotta look at me, look at me, look at me, look at me. Hey, that's pride. That's the beginning of sin. That's why you ain't gotta be all overwhelmed with yourself, man. You better humble yourself, which is contrary to being prideful. All the prophets had humility. My shepherd had so much humility, man. He died for wicked us, man. Wretched us. Israelites. And when he died, think about this. Him and Stephen said the same thing. He said, forgive them, Father, for they know not what they do. In death. He said, forgive them, Father, for they know not what they do. What kind of humility is that? Stephen said the same thing. They stoned him. And the one you believe in, a lot of you religious people don't really understand his writing. Paul, whose name was Saul before his name was changed to Paul, he was putting people to death. But just calling on Bahasham Mashakel was shot. In the name of the anointed Savior, he was putting them to death. And he was converted. That's why I say when you look at the law and the commandments and people be trying to say we ain't got to deal with that, Most High called him. He put Stephen to death. He was right there. And Most High chose him as a vessel. Wrote most of the New Testament. Changed his name though to Paul. He ain't Saul no more. He's Paul. Just like our name. My name is changed. Preach Thawam. You know, or Thawam, whatever. Forget the priest. Thawam. You know what I mean? It is what it is. A Hebrew name. From the name that we had from our slave master. All of us got a slave master name, don't we? Whether it's in English, Spanish, French, Portuguese, whatever language, from their name. That's just facts. We changed our name. Well, I guess so when somebody say you're a slave now, you be like, oh, what's going on here? Like a lot of y'all know me of old, y'all use my slave now. I be like, okay, well, I remember that. Because it's been so long since it's been even said. He gonna give us a new name eventually. You say, for pride is the beginning of sin, y'all. And he that hath it, all you that have pride, shall pour out abomination. And the Most High hate all abomination. You're going to pour out abomination. Filthy, wicked acts in the eyes of the Most High. Sin. That's why I say pride is the beginning of sin. And when you got pride, you're going to pour out sins. Sin after sin after sin. And therefore the Most High brought upon them strange calamities. And overthrew them utterly. I mean, come on, y'all better look at it. That's why he said, you know, one of my favorites, Proverbs, the first chapter. Let's go to verse 7 first this time. We can't review this enough, y'all. Proverbs 1-7. The fear of the Most High is the beginning of knowledge. You see? Remember what it said? In Ecclesiastes. How you depart from the Most High when you have pride. You turn away from the Most High. And you forget about this knowledge that he wants you to have. If he called you and you hearing this truth, you've been called. Now, whether or not we are chosen, that's another story. Because you're only going to be chosen if a Mashiach Shai comes bring forth the judgment of the Most High, and you say, hey, you're chosen. It said the fear of the Most High is the beginning of knowledge. But fools despise wisdom, which is the proper application of knowledge. Wisdom is how you apply this knowledge in your life. And instruction. You can't tell them nothing. So you say, okay, well, open up the Bible and show me what it is, how you believe and how you think. That coincides with the word of the Most High, when I could show you that the way you think is correct, according to the word of the Most High, or instructing you how you're wrong. It ain't me. I ain't write the Bible. And I mean, because I do a lot of counseling, I look at, okay, I'm listening all the time. I got to listen to the art and responsibility so that you can really look at what you're hearing to be able to counsel correctly, to be able to take them to the word, to show them what's right or tell them what's right. And those that respect you going to realize that you know the scriptures to be able to go there. And even, I mean, like I say, you really want to hear the Most High? Or you want to hear me? Most people want to hear me. They don't want to hear what this word says. But he said, hey, verse 24, because I have called and ye refuse many a times. I have stretched out my hand. The hand is the Most High, or the Most High of men. And no man regarded. He said, but ye have said at not nothing, all my counsel, and with none of my reproof. You see, people get an attitude about you instructing them. You better look at the lesson I did on how to take correction. I got many, many lessons that I've done through the Spirit of the Most High that you need to take heed to. And it's all about how to conduct ourselves. It's all about how we act, how we conduct ourselves in this world to be separate from the world, but still in the world and dealing with what we got to deal with to please the Most High. But ye have set all my counsel as nothing, and with none of my reproof. See, I will also laugh at your calamity. That's how he just said. He gonna bring calamity. He told you. What you gonna do when he come for you? He said in Ecclesiastes 10 and 13, for pride is the beginning of sin. Let's define sin for you New Testament buffs. In 1 John 3 and 4, did y'all know that? Sin is defined in the New Testament. That y'all say we ain't under the law? Ask your preacher to break this down for you. 1 John 3 and 4. Whosoever committeth sin transgresses, meaning breaketh also the law. For sin is the transgression of the law. That's in the New Testament. The definition of sin right there. Mark that down. The definition of sin is in 1 John 3, the third chapter, the 4th verse. Right there. So the same law you say that we not under, you cause the people to sin. That's why Most High said, Proverbs 1:26, I also will laugh at your calamity. I will mock when your fear cometh. See, people don't fear the Most High. What did he say? Verse 7, fear the Most High. Fear the Most High is the beginning of knowledge. So you don't want to fear him. So hey, he said, I will laugh at your calamity. See, the Most High speak once, yea, twice. You hear the same thing over and over again. He just saying it a different way, but it's still the same thing. I will mock when your fear cometh. He gonna mock when you scared. And your fear cometh. That's why he said, when your fear cometh as desolation, you start just taking everything you have, destroying what you have, because you ain't doing what he say do, and especially we that have been called. If you hear my voice, you've been called. You turn it off, you turn the Most High off, you turn the Mashiach off, you have just missed yourself from your calling. And your destruction cometh here as a whirlwind. You look at, next thing you know, tornado comes and wipe you out. Hurricane, fire, you know. As a whirlwind, come on, there it is. Your destruction cometh as a whirlwind. There go a tornado. There go a hurricane. Fire, like the Most High have fires out here in California. They be burning up all kind of neighborhoods. Then they go to the edge of the street, and the wind comes and make a fireball, big fireball like this, and it takes it up in the air and goes across the street, goes across the freeway sometime. Go to the edge of the freeway, and so we done stopped it, The wind comes and make a big fireball of wind and just take it up in the air and take it across the freeway. Sometimes it just pushes it straight across, burning everything in its path. Ain't nothing for it to burn. You just see that fire go from one side of the freeway and go all the way across to the other side and keep on going. That's the Most High, y'all. Understand this. When distress and anguish come upon you, hey, this they call upon me. This is a serious scripture right here. When you done lost everything, you crying to the Most High then, But you ain't fearing him before then. Remember, he already said he's mocking and laughing at you for your losing everything and whatever it is that he's done to you. This is what the Most High said. You distressed and you angry. He said, then shall they call upon me. Then you're going to call upon him. He said, but I will not answer. That's serious. I don't think y'all realize this. That's why you better be doing the best you can every day. Every day. And wanting to know more about him. Because he said, then they're going to call upon me, but I will not answer. That's serious right there to me. They shall seek me early, but they shall not find me. You seeking the Most High, you done lost everything. You suffering. You're angry. You call upon the Most High. He said, I ain't even answering you. I don't even hear what you got to say. Don't even, like he told Moses, don't even bring nothing in my ears that Israelites got to say. He said, I don't care nothing about them no more. He said, I'll make a nation out of you, Moses. That's serious, man. For that they hated knowledge and did not choose the fear of the Most High. I'm telling y'all, you can play with it if you want to. I'm going to show you. Go back to Ecclesiastes. And we're going to look at the first chapter. Look at verse 11. You think it ain't important? You think we seen Proverbs 1 and 7? Look what he said. Ecclesiastes 1 and 11. The fear of the Most High is honor and glory and gladness and a crown of rejoicing. See, that's why, when you look at, that's the first thing he said when we started. He said, let us hear the conclusion of the whole matter. First thing he said, what? Fear the Most High. Repent and keep his commandments, man. The fear of the Most High is honor and glory and gladness and a crown of rejoicing. Hear that? Sound like a lot of love to me. Sound like you're going to be up in the spirit and feel good. The fear of the Most High maketh a merry heart. Hear that? It maketh a merry mind and giveth joy. See, this is spiritual though. This is real spiritual. The fear of the Most High maketh a merry heart and giveth joy and gladness and a long life. See that? Whoso feareth the Most High, it shall go well